Hi, it's Brad and Casey again from the Twitchell Auditorium on the campus of Converse University, and we're here for the South Carolina and the North Carolina High School America pageant. I got it right, didn't I? Hey! It's a mouthful sometimes, isn't it?
It truly is.
Yeah. So we're excited to be back with you again for this exciting show that's coming up, but we're going to chat with you for a little bit on our pre-show here and kind of get excited and ramped up for the show. So, first of all, for those that haven't met Casey, tell us a little bit about you.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Casey Gibson. I'm from South Carolina originally. I'm currently now residing in Raleigh, North Carolina. I actually work for an aerospace engineering company. I've been a part of pageantry for 18 years now, and I also have a pageant podcast called Crowning Moment. You can listen to it on all podcasting platforms and YouTube.
It's fabulous.
But I'm so glad to be here today with Pageant Vision and you, of course, Brad.
Great. It's so fun to be here. And I'm Brad. I've spent a career in radio and TV, and now I work in telemedicine and direct primary care practice management. So my involvement, though, with pageants began about 20 years ago, and it's so much fun. I clearly got into it by accident. You know, the gals that participate, they get into it on purpose.
Absolutely.
People like me, I think, fall into it by accident. But 20 years ago, I fell into it by accident and absolutely fell in love with the pageant world and have been very proud and excited to participate in it, not only as a judge, on stage, in various different capacities. For me, the most important thing has always been the young ladies and watching them and seeing them connect with new people and develop. I mean, it's such a great experience to put young women in a great foundation for their future forward. You know, it's a pageant. It's, you know, beauty's
absolutely
involved, but the beauty inside is important too. And from my perspective, I've had a great time getting to see these young ladies, beauty inside and outside, over the last 20 years. So that's been a tremendous amount of fun. So we're going to take a break here in a bit, but before we do that, we've got a little chat that we had not that long ago with one of our reigning queens. We'll let you watch that now. Hey, thanks for joining us. It's Grayson Granger that's joining us right now, Miss South Carolina Collegiate America. We're so excited to have you with us. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah? What was the hardest part of getting ready for today?
Oh goodness, figuring out the schedule. When you have a weekend like this weekend where there's a lot of moving parts, 2 pageants going on, both our elementary pageant and the senior division pageant, there's a lot of places you've got to be and a lot of people to organize with, so just keeping everything straight has been difficult. Sadly,
titles come with giving them up at some point, and we're very close to that time for you. So what's next?
I just graduated college. I'm really proud to say that I graduated a semester early. Thank you. I have plans of attending law school, but I've decided to take a gap year, which is amazing and I highly recommend. I am definitely a type A person and I love to just always be overachieving and try my best, and I'm definitely the student who strives for that perfect 100. So 12 plus 3.5, so 15-ish years of school straight has been a lot on my nervous system because it means a lot to me to do really well. So I'm really excited to take this year off and give myself that mental health break before jumping right back in to more academics.
Which is good. So what were you going to do this year?
Well, I signed with a modeling agency when I was 8 years old. I'm with Directions USA out of Greensboro, North Carolina, and I love them so much. So I sent them an email this December and I was like, hey, I'm done with college and I have nothing to do for an entire year. Please give me some work. I'm ready to take it seriously.
There you go.
And one of my first big jobs when I was a kid was Belk.com, and I loved working with them. I remember I got to miss school all the time and I thought I was so cool because I was 8 years old and I was working for Belk. And I just found out a couple of days ago that I am back on the rotation for Belk online, their like e-commerce stuff, so I'm really excited to make some money.
Excellent.
That's amazing. So pageants and modeling, they really do help going hand in hand with opening doors for different places that you never would have expected. What is something this year that has really just, you know, changed your perspective of, you know, what you're going to do after the crown?
Yeah. One of the best things about being a title holder, I think, and one of the most special parts of pageantry that you don't hear about a lot is the transformative process that you go through when you become a title holder. Because the thing about pageant that's different from any other competition is it's all about you. The interview is about you. Being on stage is about your mental health, it's about your confidence, it's about how you feel, and exploring what it is that you like to wear, what it is that you feel good in. So whenever you go through something like being a title holder, being Miss South Carolina Collegiate, it's a transformative process for who you are as a person, and you get to grow and blossom and figure out what's important to you. So I've really enjoyed that process this year. I feel like I've grown a lot as an individual coming out of college and entering adulthood. It's a really big time of life, so to have had such a strong foundation of good people around me with the people who run this pageant, it's helped me to really become a person that I'm really proud of.
So during your reign, was there something that surprised you that you just didn't even anticipate was going to occur during your reign this last year that you could share with us?
Yes. When you become part of the Miss High School America organization, you also become part of a sister organization called Miss Elementary America. And we have the fortunate ability to be partnered with one of the South Carolina or North Carolina title holders. And whenever we were sitting in the contract signing the day after being crowned, they're like, okay, does anyone have anyone they want to request or who they want to be their princess or their little partner? And I didn't know. I didn't have anyone to request. I was just kind of like, whatever, whoever you put me with, I'll be so happy to have a little sister. And the little girl that I got paired with, her name is August Eloise McDowell, and she is one of my favorite people on the whole planet. And she has been the best surprise of this whole year. I had no expectation of gaining this little sister who I now consider to be my child.
That's very special. That's
and
wonderful.
I'm just really proud
That's
to
wonderful.
have been her big
Yeah,
sister.
very special. She is Miss South Carolina Collegiate America. We're so glad that you gave us some time to visit with Casey and I, and we wish you all the very best in your future endeavors.
Hi, it's Brad and Casey, and we're back on Pageant Vision TV. Delighted to be here in Spartansburg, North Carolina. Beautiful day for us, and we've enjoyed the hospitality of this wonderful, wonderful community. So we're going to talk pageant tips, which I think you're going to be a little better at that.
Yes.
But I think we'll start with the crown. You know, I've always found it interesting. How in the heck do you ladies keep a crown on your head? And do they fall off? I mean, especially at that crowning moment. You know, I've seen a few of them get a little floppy, but what can the ladies do to make sure that crown stays on their head?
Yeah, definitely. After you're being crowned, that's always one of those crucial moments of can they put the crown on the girl's head? And so it really is a learning curve, to say the least. But once you got it on your head, you think, how can I keep this on my head? There's a few different ways that you can do it. They now make these combs that can wire into the top of your crown, because if you were to look at a crown, it has 4 or 5 little brackets on it, so you can wire something through it. So then once you put that on, you can either clip it in, or like I like to do is I will cut up a pair of old pantyhose. I danced for many, many years. This is crazy, but pantyhose, and you weave it through either in a circle or in an X.
Into the crown?
Into the crown, yes. And then when you put it on your head, I use ones that are a darker color, nude, or if some girls have blonde hair. Yeah, so they match.
Wow.
And then you just pin it in with either bobby pins, or I like the claw clip pins that snap, so then it keeps it secure in place.
Right.
So that's one of the best things I think that has really helped me, is putting the claw clips instead of just barrettes.
Well, sadly, not everybody gets the crown. We'd all like everybody to get the crown, but everybody has a sash.
Yes.
And, you know, over my years, I see the gals with their sashes, and they're falling off their shoulder, or they're not clipped at the bottom. What's some tricks and tips about making sure that sash stays on properly?
Well, the new thing on the market is called the Queen's Magnet, and one of my favorite things to add to even just a number on your gown, or even to keep your shoulder up on your sash. And all you do is it normally is like a blinged out front, and you put the magnet behind it, and it just clips on there, kind of like how my mic is, where it's magnetized behind it, so then your sash doesn't slip at all.
Wow.
And
Very
then you
nice.
can also have one at the bottom, so if that Velcro on your sash is not staying, you can easily do it. Same thing like I said,
Excellent.
for that corner, you're not having to poke into your dresses anymore. We know you spend thousands of dollars on these gowns, and you don't want to ruin them.
Right,
So
right.
using a Queen's Magnet is the easiest way
Perfect.
to keep it without ruining your gowns.
I'll be darned. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Let's talk about shoes. I mean, I've seen gals in high heels, lower heels. I imagine it's all personal preference.
Yes.
You know, working as a judge in the past, you know, shoes aren't something I necessarily look at. I'm looking at the bigger picture. But I've seen girls trip in their shoes, slip in their shoes. I mean, it can be a disaster in shoes. What are some tips and tricks that ladies can use for shoes in pageants?
Well, one of the best things I like to say is when you're first getting your shoes, you have to break them in. It's like wearing a nice new pair of tennis shoes. Go ahead and take that run because you want to go ahead and break it in. With your pageant shoes or your pageant heels, you need to do the same thing. And one of the things I like to do is actually vacuum. That sounds weird, but I put my Apple Watch on and I start my workout with vacuuming. The back and forth motion helps get the shoes new grip that you have.
So you wear the shoes while you're vacuuming?
While I'm vacuuming, yes, on wood floors, and it really does help. And another thing that a lot of athletes use, especially if they're runners or hikers, they have this thing, it's called Foot, and it's like Foot Glide. It's a deodorant for your feet.
Oh, wow.
And you can rub it over your toes, on your ankles, around your heels, so then if your shoe is rubbing, if it's a little tight, you're not gonna blister, because it's almost like putting underarm deodorant on. You're trying not to sweat. With this, you don't want to blister.
See, now here's what I've learned from tips and tricks for me. If there's any of you young ladies out there that want to break in your shoes, I got plenty of carpet for you. You can come vacuum anytime you want. Now, we're going to take a look at a conversation we had earlier with the reigning Miss High School America. Take a look with Leah Lynn.
Hi, it's Brad and Casey again from Pageant Vision, and this time we're so fortunate to have Miss High School America, the title holder herself, Leah Lynn. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you excited about this weekend?
Yes, I'm super excited. I love my Carolina crew, all of my family and friends that are here, but it is bittersweet, I'll be honest with you, because my Carolina sisters have become part of my family. So a new group of girls will come in this weekend, which is exciting.
What do you think about the field of girls that are there to go after your crown? Have you had a chance to visit with them and find out more about them? What do you think?
I've had the opportunity, this is my 4th state pageant that I've been able to visit this year, and all the girls I am so impressed with. They are gorgeous, they are so well-spoken, and they are just an amazing group of girls, and this organization is in such good hands.
Amazing. So I want to ask you a few questions about being the wild card coming into the High School America system this year. Let's talk about that. You came to South Carolina and it just was a tough weekend. And then after that, you decide, I still want to go. What was that push for you to still want to go back to the national competition?
Yeah, so a year ago today, I was competing for the title of Miss North Carolina High School, and I received first runner-up. And I'll be completely honest with you, it was really hard to get back up again and be resilient. But I talked with my family and my friends, and I said, Mom and Dad, like, this is something that I really want to do. Let's put the time and the work and the effort and energy into it. And I feel like that there was this fire that was lit underneath me, and I just got up again, and I went into nationals, and it's not about winning, and it's about the experience.
You know, during this past year of your reign, I'm a little bit curious about something that might have surprised you that you just didn't even expect to happen in the process.
Well, I never thought I would become a children's author. I recently released my first children's book called No Perfect Polar Bear that's now available on Amazon. I love reading. I'm a huge book nerd, if I'll be completely honest with you guys. And I love reading children's books as a kid. So now being 18 years old and going into college and saying that I'm an author of a children's book is just crazy. And a year ago today, I never would have imagined myself here.
Okay, so you show up to the national competition. What was that atmosphere like? Most people may have not ever been to it in Arkansas, so what was that like for you?
Yes, it was my first time in Little Rock, Arkansas. I will tell you, it was very hot in the middle of June, so lots of sunscreen was used for us and all the other girls, but it was beautiful. The facility, the auditorium, all the girls and the director and the staff were just amazing, and I love being a part of the Miss High School America organization because you're with family. You don't even feel like you're competing against the other contestants, and that's so special, and the bonds that I've created is just amazing.
You know, during your reign as Miss High School America, you've gotten to do a lot of really fun and exciting things. What was the highlight? What was something that was just incredibly exciting for you that just really made the year?
I got to travel to Colorado with 2 of my national sister queens, Alex and Kennedy, and we did a photo shoot with Brittany Link Photography at the Garden of God. So we were at the beautiful mountains and the rocks, and we were in these long dresses hiking up the rocks, which was a little bit challenging, but it was so much fun being able to take pictures and being an experience that's such a granted and such an opportunity in a lifetime.
Okay, things that everyone wants to know. We're gonna talk about your crowning moment as a national title holder. Yes. You're standing there. I mean, if you've seen the video, it is quite hilarious a little but I have to say, because she was in shock.
Yes.
And I want you to tell them a little bit more what that felt like.
Yeah, so I'll be completely honest with you. I did not even think that I was going to make it into the top 15 or the top 5. I really went into nationals with a completely different mindset that I was just there for the experience. I was lucky enough to get an appointed title to represent the state of Wisconsin while I was there. So I went in and I was holding hands with all my friends backstage, and everything just happened so fast and so quickly, and then getting my name called in the top 5 and it slowly going down and just being 2 of us left, it was just crazy. And I was in that moment and I just knew that regardless of what happens, that I was proud of myself and I felt accomplished, because that's all that really mattered. But I actually blacked out and I cannot remember the exact moment after my name was called, so it goes a little bit blank when I try to remember it, but watching back the video, I am jumping like a jelly bean, which is a little crazy.
She is Leah Lynn, Miss High School America, and one final question for you. When you pass that crown this weekend, what's the word of advice that you have for your successor?
Yeah, so for my other successors that will be passing down their crown this weekend, I really hope that they instill confidence in the girls and inspire them to trust our directors. The North and South Carolina crew and the staff and the directors are truly amazing, wonderful people, and trusting them will have them be and give them the best year possible.
So we may say this is one of the last times that we see Leah Lynn as Miss High School America, but more importantly, because of that experience, the future is so bright and incredible for you. Leah, thank you so much for the time you've given us. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and the future that's ahead of you. Good luck to you.
Thank
you so much. Hi, I'm Brad Hughes from Pageant Vision. Welcome, and we're glad to have you along with us. Also joining me is Casey Gibson with Pageant Vision as well. We're very excited to be here in South Carolina for the High School America pageant, and we'll be visiting with some of the title holders and some of the contestants, and it's going to be an exciting time. First, we get to start with this lovely lady. Tell us who you are.
I am Allie Carroll, and I am Miss South Carolina High School America.
So how has this year been for you as far as your title and reigning?
It has been absolutely amazing. It has been the best year of my life. I was fortunate enough to go to Arkansas and place in the top 15. So that in itself was just the biggest accomplishment, and I am super proud of myself for that.
Excellent.
So I want to ask a few questions about coming in from last year. We want to talk about that crowning moment. What was that like for you, being able to be crowned Miss South Carolina High School?
It was honestly crazy. I was standing there and honestly my mind just kind of went blank. And then all of a sudden I heard my name, and it was just incredible, and I'm so fortunate to have been the one that was chosen in that moment.
That moment when it happened, did it hit you, or did you go, wait a minute, was that my name they called, or what was that like?
It was definitely a wait a minute type of thing. I was like, hold on. No, they've got the name wrong. But it was me, and so I'm very grateful.
Excellent. Let's talk about this last year for you as you've had the reign. What would you say was one of your greatest highlights?
Well, every year, Miss Crystal and Miss Candy, they do a beach retreat where we go to Miss Crystal's house in Murrells Inlet, and it's kind of like a boot camp. We go through walking lessons, interview, and then we also get some bonding time with our sister queens in the hot tub. So that was a lot of fun, and that was definitely my favorite part.
Excellent.
Okay, so you talk about that retreat, and one of the things I know that we've seen all over the social media was being able to sing along and hang out with your sisters. What was your favorite part of being in that whole sisterhood this past year?
Honestly, just having us all there together. You know, we all traveled to Arkansas together, and the entire Carolina Queens were there. It was North Carolina and South Carolina. And then the girls who came at large, they were all there with us the whole entire time, and just being able to spend that quality time with them and go through nationals, which can be extremely nerve-wracking, was awesome.
You know, that moment's going to come this weekend where the crown's going to get passed.
Do we have to talk about it?
Just a little bit, but more importantly, you know, you've had a great year and have the title. What's next? Where do you take the crown next? Even though it's passed on to someone else, there's still the family connection of being involved in the pageant, representing forward. What's next for you?
Well, so I don't know exactly what's next, but I do know that I am going to Clemson University, and a few other of the high school girls have been accepted to Clemson. So maybe we could possibly be roomies. I have to talk them into it. I know they have a few other options, but maybe we'll all get together one day.
So much fun to visit with Miss South Carolina High School America, and we've so enjoyed the time that you've given us today. Any other questions that you have of her?
No, I'm just so proud of you this entire year. It was amazing to watch you. Being a sponsor for the South Carolina, North Carolina group was just such an amazing honor, and I'm so proud of everything you've done this year.
Thank you so much.
We wish you all the very best.
Thank
Take care.
you so much.
Welcome back. Here's Casey. I'm Brad with Pageant Vision TV, and we're so grateful that you've joined us today. Let's talk about interviewing and interviewing skills for the young ladies. Whatever pageant system they're in, there's interview. And serving as a judge, and when I do interview, it's even scary and a little nerve-wracking for me. But it ends up being okay. And I sometimes wish the young ladies understood, took a deep breath, and it's going to be okay. They're super intimidated.
Yes,
because it's judge, and it's a brief conversation.
Exactly, and that's the hard part is, going into that interview, you have all these things, all these voices in your head, and you have to remember just to shut all of it out. You have to remember it's just you and those people in the room that you're trying to make friendship with, trying to make connections with. And I want to ask you, from a judge's point of view, what is that like? How do you come up with your questions? Do they ever give you a list? I just want to know, is someone not
Now,
in the judge's spot?
Usually, no, we have our own questions. We can ask whatever we want. It's difficult sometimes because I've actually made girls cry, not intentionally. Just asking a very simple question that I think is a simple question, maybe about family or something in their life, and it becomes personal because they have a relatable story in which, maybe someone was sick in their family or died or whatever tragedy they connect to it, and I end up making them cry. And so everybody picks on me because I make the girls cry. And then I want to give them a hug, but you can't do that till it's all over with. But I watch these gals when they come for interview, and they're trembling, their lips are trembling. Gosh, is there anything they can do to relax a little bit?
I feel like my advice may not be best here because I'm someone that loves energy drinks, so I will chug an energy drink before going into the interview because
So you're that girl that comes in like this?
Yes, I'm not, I wouldn't say sporadic, but I like to be high
Ready.
energy coming into
And
the
ready.
room because you want it to be more of exciting, like, hey, how is everyone, rather than, hi, I'm scared to be here, because it gives off a different aura that, for the judges that are already nervous having to ask girls questions and you don't want to step on any feet, you're trying to be careful, but it's just for the girls, just making sure that you take, like you said, take that breath. It really is important, and before you even speak.
For me, I think one of the hardest parts is you have this predetermination because you're visually looking at the young lady. But that interview scoring plays into it in different pageants, and it's hard to separate that. You have to take away the aesthetic part and just go to the part about the questions and whatnot. And it changes things sometimes because it's truly the judge's opportunity to get to speak with the contestant for the first time. And our job as judges is to select somebody that is going to be representative of that organization. And so they've got to have the ability to speak and engage. And then as a judge, you got to put all that stuff together. And it's hard. It truly is hard. But it's important because we're working with young ladies and inspiring them to be something really fabulous, whether they win or not. Every young lady I know that's been involved in pageants simply walks away with so much positive energy and outlook, and they truly have all learned something from it. So. And
I want to ask you, do you think pageants are won in the interview or on the stage?
My answer to that would be a combination of both. But ultimately, in the end, it happens on the stage. The interview does play into it, and it's an important part. So it's tough, though. It's tough.
Truly.
We're going to look at a conversation we also had earlier with one of our title holders. Let's take a look at that now.
Hi, it's Brad and Casey again, and this time we're joined by Miss North Carolina Collegiate, Kelsey Farmer. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing great. So glad that you could join us and spend a little time with us this weekend. I'll hold the mic for you. I'll hold the mic.
All right,
for you.
Kelsey, let's go ahead and jump straight into this. Everyone wants to know, what has your year been like as Miss North Carolina Collegiate?
It has been absolutely amazing. This year has been something that I wouldn't have imagined in a million years that I would be doing. I've been able to do so much and see so much and grow so much with the rest of my sister queens. I was able to write my very first children's book. I spoke in countless schools and spoke about my own personal platform Life is Valuable Every Day, which is a mental health focused platform. And then, you know, our national platform, Brave, building respect and values for everyone.
Excellent. So, as Miss North Carolina Collegiate, are you in school now?
I am.
So, how do you do that? I mean, that's a lot.
Just knowing how to balance life, school, social life is the key to life in general. I go to NC State University. I'm a senior. Go Pack.
Okay, well, so you've clearly succeeded with the pageant. Now I want to know how the grades are in college, though. Are you doing good there, too?
I'm actually at the top of my class.
Perfect. What's the future plan after college?
I'm going to be taking one little gap year in between undergraduate, and then I'm going to be going on to PA school. So
excellent.
I'll be applying to PA school during my gap year and working. So
excellent.
I'm very excited for what the future will hold.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. We're going to bring it back to pageant land for a minute. So this weekend is going to be, one of the tough weekends that you're going to have this entire year, and that's giving up the crown. Mm-hmm. What do you have some words for the next girl coming in to take over this North Carolina title?
I know you hear this a lot, but just be yourself, be you. The judges chose you for who you are, so never feel like you have to do something or be someone that you're not. Be you, embrace that, and have fun. We want you to have fun and really enjoy every second of this, and know that you can call me or our wonderful directors. You're in great hands with Crystal and Candy, so I'm only one call away, and they're always here to support you.
My question now, it may sound a little negative, but we're going to make it a positive. As you reflect on the past year, what was something that was incredibly difficult for you that you didn't anticipate to happen during your reign? How'd you overcome it?
Like you said, that balance of day-to-day busy, trying to balance school and pageant life, and then I also work part-time as a medical assistant, so trying to find that balance with social life, your academics, and making sure that you're at the same time taking care of yourself and your own mental health at the same time.
So given that busy schedule that you have, do you sleep?
I do sleep. I had to work on that. If you would have talked to Kelsey from back in high school, I would have had 3 hours of sleep, but I do sleep now, so thank God for that.
Okay, so talking about that sleep, what is your number one thing to give the girls going into this for next year of how to prepare for their entire year after they already have the crown?
After they have the crown? Mm-hmm. I would just say continue doing what you did to get yourself here, and don't be afraid to lean on those around you. You have so many amazing sister queens. You have Crystal and Candy, Marley, and we all come together and will be your best support system during this time and during your year.
So during the weekend, you have an opportunity to look at the field of ladies that are vying for your title, that you're going to have to put that crown on. What do you think of the group of ladies this year?
They are absolutely amazing. I can't even fathom the put together words to describe how amazing this group is. You guys will all go on to do amazing things with or without the crown, and you'll hear me talk about in my farewell speech a little later about how we all have our own invisible crowns. So whether or not you get the outcome that you were looking for tonight, you have your own invisible crown, and that crown is unique to you. No one else has that crown, and you are needed, you are special, and you're very talented.
So you're going to have an invisible crown.
I am.
What's the most important thing you want to go out there and tackle and achieve next?
Continue doing building my own platform of Life is Valuable Every Day. During this time, mental health is very, advocating for it is very needed, and I will continue to talk about that and continue talking in schools and reading my book, Be Brave, Be You.
She's Kelsey Farmer, Miss North Carolina Collegiate. We've been so fortunate to have some time with you. We appreciate it so much, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brad and Casey, and we're back on Pageant Vision TV from the Twitchell Auditorium on the campus of Converse University. It's a beautiful theater, by the way, and it'll be full of people, and we'll have lots of fun. So very exciting, beautiful theater. We thank you for joining us for this pre-show. Coming up in just a short while is the high school show, which involves not only high school, but junior high and the collegiate level.
For North Carolina and South Carolina.
Absolutely, and that's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll be going to that here shortly. Let's talk about Pageant Vision TV. You can go to Pageant Vision TV, and it's simply pageantvision.tv. Be able to see lots of different things. News content will be coming in the future. We're growing Pageant Vision TV, and we're working to make it the preeminent coverage for pageants across the country. So check it out. There's different subscription levels. There's free content. There's content also from previous shows across the country. There's a whole history of shows from the past, and a lot of fun things that are coming to Pageant Vision TV. So we definitely want you to check it out and find out more about it, and then check out those subscription levels and different things that you can get involved in, and we'd love to have you be a part of Pageant Vision TV and join us. So that'll be fun. Gosh, we've got the high school show coming up here shortly. I'm very excited for it. How about you?
I am super excited. This is going to be such a great production. There is so many amazing and deserving women competing today, and I cannot wait to see who gets the shiny crown on their head after this.
I'm glad this is the only job we have, because the judge's job is going to be difficult. I've watched rehearsals today, and amazing young ladies. I mean, it's going to be really, really difficult. And we've gotten to visit with some of the ladies, so they're beautiful, they're intelligent. We've seen them moving around the theater, and they're fun as well. So we're going to get to see all those high school girls here very soon, and we invite you to join us for that show as well. Right now, though, we had a chance to grab a couple of our elementary winners from earlier today, and here's a conversation with some of them. Hi, it's Brad and Casey again at this fabulous pageant, the North Carolina and South Carolina. Today we're covering the Miss Elementary America pageant, and right now we're visiting with Lucy Hopman. Hi Lucy, how are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. Are you having a tremendous amount of fun here today?
Yes, sir.
It's been a good weekend?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So polite. Yes, sir, even. I like that. Very nice. So Lucy is our People's Choice Award this year, and that's an exciting thing, isn't it?
It definitely is, yeah.
How much money did you win?
I won over $4,200.
Wow. Casey's got a question for you now.
So what are you going to do with all the People's Choice money that you just won?
I would say that I would put some of it in savings, in my college savings account.
Smart.
And then I would donate some to charity. And then I would use the rest to go on a vacation with my family.
Excellent. No shopping? No shopping? No?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Of course, you're a young lady. There's got to be a little bit of shopping in there. If you look back on this entire weekend, what was the most wonderful part of it for you?
The best part was probably making even more friends. I didn't know anybody coming into this pageant, and now I know everybody in my division, so that was really fun.
That's a great thing about pageants.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, we're so glad that we could chat with you today. And guys, you're meeting the People's Choice winner for the South Carolina North Carolina Elementary America pageant.
Welcome back, and I think actually I'm the tallest person in the building. This might be one of the shortest ones.
One of
She's
our
a
little
long
babies.
ways down there. How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Crosby.
Crosby. You are the new Miss North Carolina Kindergarten America. What do you think about that?
Good.
Good. Did you expect to win? Did you think you were going to win?
Yes.
You did. That's confidence. What was the hardest part of the weekend getting ready for this? The makeup, the hair.
The makeup.
The makeup was the hardest part. Walking out here in front of all these people, that was easy? Wow, that's impressive.
Crosby, I want you to tell us, okay, how did you feel when you got the crown on your head? What did it feel like?
Good.
Was it good? Did it hurt? No. Are you excited to go to Nationals in Little Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you most excited for, the dresses or the makeup?
Dresses.
The dresses. If you could pick any color to wear, what color would you wear?
Blue.
Blue. You heard it, guys. She wants to wear blue to Nationals in Little Rock. We have our North Carolina Kindergarten, Crosby Austin.
Welcome to Pageant Vision TV. Right now, we are visiting with a couple of our winners from the elementary division today. We have Lexi and Elliot. Lexi is the new Miss North Carolina Senior Elementary America, and Elliot is the new Miss South Carolina Senior Elementary America. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Did you have a great weekend?
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Did you have so much fun? What about you? What was the hardest part of the weekend for you?
Probably getting up really early for them because I woke up at like 5:30 this morning.
Isn't that terrible? I woke up at 8, and I don't even know how you could do it at 5:30. Now, what was the most exciting part of the weekend for you, Lexi?
The most exciting part about the weekend was probably either being here on the stage for crowning or the pajama party because we had so much fun.
Pajama parties. Casey, did you do pajama parties?
I didn't go to the pajama party, but tell us a little bit about what happens at these pajama parties.
So you basically just dance with lots of your friends, and I love to dance with my friends. Me and Lexi actually did a photo thing together. With Lexi was one of our contestants, and we went around in a circle, and the camera was like getting us dancing, and it was really fun.
Very nice. So I've got a final question for each of you. What's next for you, Lexi?
Nationals. I'm excited to go.
Perfect. Excellent. What's next for you?
Nationals.
Nationals. So you're going to start preparing for Little Rock right now, aren't you? Wow. It's Lexi and Elliot, two of our new queens here in wonderful Spartansburg, South Carolina.
Welcome back, and we invited them back just to say goodbye. But we've had a terrific time, and so grateful for the opportunity to be here with all of these beautiful young ladies. And we've got the great high school show that's starting up next. You can watch that in the live stream right here on pageantvision.com right after us. Check that out and buy the stream and enjoy the show with us. Be a lot of fun. Anything you want to add? I mean, we've had such a great time. We're saying goodbye.
I know, it's so sad to already say goodbye. I
Yeah.
feel like we've only been here for a short time, but I'm so glad that we could join you this morning with the elementary show and now for the high school show. But this is something that you're not going to want to miss. So make sure that you go ahead and watch along with us.
On pageantvision.com. So enjoy it. I'm Brad Hughes,
I'm Casey Gibson.
and this is Pageant Vision TV.